So first off, understand, you're seeing this video well after the trade went down. But at the time I'm writing this script, I'm just freshly reacting to what just happened. And my simple reaction is, wow. Damian Lillard has officially been traded from the Portland Trail Blazers to the Milwaukee Bucks, joining Giannis and Chris Middleton, forming one of the strongest big threes on paper in the entire league. I have so many thoughts on this, so I'm wrestling with where to even start. First off, I'm not totally surprised to see the Blazers management send Lillard to a location other than what he requested. To a certain extent, that was the last bit of control that they had over the situation at all. In a recent video, I talked about how unprecedented it is for a player to force his way to one specific team after he just signed a Supermax extension, with at least 3 years left on his contract. If the Blazers had sent Lillard to Miami, then it basically would have made them look like a complete doormat, and would have sent a concerning statement to the NBA general managers. So at least with them sending Lillard to Milwaukee instead, a bit of their own sense of dignity remains intact. Now, according to reports, Lillard did state that if he was traded to any organization other than Miami, then he would immediately request a trade from there. But I gotta imagine that Dame is gonna be content with this result. Based on his recent post on social media, he seems to already be embracing the change. Many people, including yours truly, now see the Bucks as the championship favorites heading into next season, as Giannis and Lillard seem like a match made in heaven with their inside and outside dynamic. Then throw in the fact that Middleton seems like the ideal third option, and I'm absolutely terrified to see what this trio can accomplish. Now, Jrue Holiday is nothing to scoff at, and I'm sure in some aspects his presence will be somewhat missed in Milwaukee. I'm very curious to see where Jrue ultimately lands, and if it is in Miami, that's not a bad consolation prize, especially when you consider how the rest of their finals roster is still intact. But back to Giannis and Dame on the Bucks. I'm not gonna lie, as a Lakers fan who watched every game of the Lakers' dominant 2001 season, this is probably the pairing that gives me the most Shaq and Kobe vibes since then. With Giannis, you're talking about a powerful athletic big who fairly recently dropped 50 points in a championship-clinching game. And with Dame, you're talking about a perimeter assassin who dropped 71 points in a game just a few months ago. Both of these stars are coming off of seasons where they averaged well over 30 points per game. And again, I don't see them eating into each other's opportunities so much, given their incredibly different styles offensively that are actually complementary to one another. Giannis is very accustomed to setting tough screens for his shooters, but now we're talking about one of the most lethal shooters in NBA history, who's basically in range the instant he crosses half court. I'm really interested to see what Lillard's efficiency splits will look like this upcoming season. There are a lot of examples of players joining more talented teams, and suddenly their efficiency spikes to levels that they never experienced before. For example, when Allen Iverson joined Carmelo Anthony on the Denver Nuggets in 2006, his field goal percentage immediately increased dramatically. When Kevin Durant joined Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and the Golden State Warriors, he immediately had his 3 best field goal percentage seasons of his career up to that point. This is often what happens when an elite player joins a very talented roster and suddenly doesn't draw all of the defensive attention. With teammates like Giannis and even Brook Lopez drawing attention with his stellar shooting, Lillard will likely find himself with more single-man coverage than he's ever experienced in his NBA career so far. And I expect that to translate to his closest to 50-40-90 splits that he's ever had. Last year, Lillard was second in the entire league in three-pointers attempted per game, with a whopping career high of 11.3. Many of those attempts were highly contested, but now, as a Buck, I expect Dame to be salivating by how wide open some of those looks will be. For basically his entire career, Giannis has been one of the hardest players to predict when the postseason rolls around. At times, he comes up small when the games matter the most, and then in other instances, he comes up with some of the most mesmerizing clutch performances, like in the 2021 NBA Finals. Now, with arguably the most clutch player in the entire league by his side, less pressure will be on Giannis to perform at his best when the games matter the most, as there is a strong likelihood that we'll be seeing Dame time performances all the way into the month of June. Some will try to belittle the Bucks' chances, because by giving up Holiday, Milwaukee departed with one of the best defensive point guards in the league, for one of the least impressive. Although that is true, you have to consider that Steph has been winning championships as a point guard for a while, as he was considered a subpar defensive player. Seeing how 3 out of the 5 players in the Bucks' projected starting lineups are considered as solid defensive players, I'm pretty sure this team will be just fine in that department. The thing about Damian Lillard is that it's now officially put up or shut up time. For the longest time, I've been one of his biggest advocates, saying that I believe he's a championship caliber player, but he just hasn't had the right superstar support to give him those championship opportunities. Well, now he clearly does, and as a result, these next couple of years will be a defining period of his legacy. At the age of 33, he probably just has a few prime level years left within his basketball career, but these will easily be his greatest opportunities at an NBA championship, assuming the core of this roster does in fact remain healthy. There's another side to this story though, and it's the Miami Heat. I'm sure many people will be acting like the Miami franchise is on life support after this failed attempt at Lillard, and from an emotional standpoint, that might be true. But this team is still the defending Eastern Conference champions, with basically the entire roster returning for another shot. They'll hope that a player like Tyler Hero won't take all the trade rumors personally, because I remember the Lamar Odom for Chris Paul trade that was then blocked by David Stern, which then sent Odom into an emotional spiral where he demanded a trade simply for feeling unwanted. Hero could just take it on the chin and report for training camp with no issues, but the repercussions of this summer are still yet to be seen. Drew Holiday is apparently still on the market, and with Miami looking for ways to improve, that could end up being a solid acquisition. Regardless of where Drew ends up being, that will be a team worth paying attention to. I do believe that within a matter of moments, the Milwaukee Bucks went from title contenders to clear title favorites. But with that being said, it would be foolish to consider their title as a foregone conclusion. The Lakers have retooled and appear to have a firm sense of their identity heading into this upcoming season. The Warriors appear to be a threatening wild card with the addition of Chris Paul. Phoenix is bolstering an intimidating super team loaded with offensive firepower. Teams like Boston and Philly will be in the picture like they always are. And of course, Denver will be poised for their title defense, led by the best player in the NBA. It's going to be an exciting NBA season, and I can't wait to see it. So stay tuned to this channel for daily videos along the way. So now it's your turn. Which are your top 3 teams in the power rankings heading into this upcoming NBA season? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.